Yeah. I'm gonna put my beanie on before I show my face to the camera. And get my coffee. And if you're wondering, you're in my office and this is the disaster. But it's after the holidays, and quite honestly, let's talk about it. Look, there's a sock hanging on my chair right now that I took off last night. And we're just gonna get into it because that's what today is about. The imperfect perfections of being a business owner. And, you know, literally just kind of feeling some type of way about the new year. And then not only just about the new year, but like having all these crazy, you know, year-end caps about everything being marvelous and wonderful. And, you know, when the truth is a lot of people didn't have wonderful years. And I'm not saying this to be negative, and I'm not saying this, you know, to like make anyone feel bad about like being happy or having great years, you know, a great year for 2024. But I'm saying all this is to say is that like we're human, and it doesn't matter how long you've been a business owner or a photographer, and you're wondering to yourself like, you know, if it ever gets better. And I can't answer that for you. I believe things only get better if you put in the work and if you decide that you're just not going to quit. And so that brings me to today's episode of like, I guess if we want to call it like Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays, you know, because that's what we just went through. We just went through a time of very high emotional feelings. There's lots of like anxieties about the future, feeling that you are behind and that you have to catch up, and feeling that, you know, you have to make this huge list of New Year's resolutions and try to become this better version of yourself that everyone deems to be a quality standard of living or a quality standard of goals and, you know, changes and all the things that come along with that, right? And New Year's resolutions. I'm sitting in my messy office right now. I literally haven't had time to sit here and go through every single little thing that I have in order to organize and clean up and try to make everything perfect. Because the fact is, it's not perfect. I'm not perfect. My mind is messy. My mind is a very messy mind. It's creative. I'm ADHD. And I'm also on the spectrum. So I would just say if you are a person like me and you're feeling all these big feelings, that it's okay. It's okay to feel exactly the way you're feeling, and you're valid in that response, your emotions, and you're valid in just kind of feeling overwhelmed about like trying to fit in and be this perfect cookie cutter entrepreneur that everybody says that's what entrepreneurship should be. And the fact is, entrepreneurship looks different for every single person out there. And I personally have been trying to learn how to really just like take a step back. Like if I get a DM at like 1 a.m. from an inquiry, I'm trying my best. Well, not trying. I am not going to respond until the next day. And we have lived and made a society where everything is microwave society. And when I say that, I mean like instantaneous. Everyone needs that instant gratification. And if we aren't on 24/7, we feel ashamed. We feel bad. We feel like we're not doing enough. And that's not okay. So for me, I've been working on this actually for a while. And so some might say, okay, that's lazy. But I'm like, no, I'm just practicing being a human being at the same time running a business. And you can have a heart-led business and show people that you are a human being and you're also a business owner. That's what they get when they hire you. So I just kind of want to encourage everyone during this time that it's okay to go slow. It's okay to go at your own pace. It's okay to kind of like dial it back and say, you know what? That's really not for me, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't feel the need to be in a rush all the time. I don't feel the need to constantly be on for everyone or over-explain myself or say yes to everything, because that is going to create a burnout for me. And I'm not going to be the creative person that I know I'm supposed to be for my clients. And so I am practicing these things, and I just encourage you to practice them too. It's okay to say no, especially if you don't want to do something and it feels kind of like outside of your genre or outside of what you want to do as a small business. Like, you have, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess you have the authority to say that's not for me and my business. That's not what we support or whatever. Like, you can completely not do something if you don't want to, especially if it's outside of your morals or your standards or whatever. And so, yeah, I was just very on fire about that this morning after I had my breakfast and my coffee, and I was thinking about how far I've come, you know, in just in general in my business, and how long I've been doing it, and kind of just going within and seeing the younger version of myself when I first started my business and looking up to this person and business owner that I am now. And I would be floored at all the things I've accomplished. Dude, I'm full-time. I'm a full-time photographer. I did that. I made it happen, you know, and I should be proud of that every year. Like, that is something that not a lot of people can say. I've been in this business for 14, going on 15 years this year in 2025. And it's just absolutely wild to me that I made or have made a living out of just being a photographer. I was about to pick up a camera, but they're all around me everywhere else. But I have made a living out of being a photographer and making memories for people. And to me, that just blows my mind. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're like me and you've been a photographer for X amount of time, X amount of years or whatever, and you're just out here, you know, feeling like you haven't accomplished enough and you don't feel successful, I think you need to kind of rewind again and kind of look back and just kind of remember that other version of yourself when you first got started and you weren't where you are, and everything you dreamed of then you now have, and it's really, really fucking cool. Sorry, man, I just been passionate about that all morning. And going back to when I first got started, like, no one believed in me. Everyone thought I was crazy. Everyone thought I was delusional. And I would never be successful. I would never make a livable wage. And my business has made a lot of money and has made a lot of people happy. I've coached a lot of photographers. I've mentored, I've trained, you know, I've given my wisdom and knowledge, and I'm fucking proud of myself. So this year, I'm just gonna take that time to say a whole lot of fuck you to imposter syndrome. Because truly, I'm amazed. I'm amazed at the skills and the belief that I have in myself and in my future self to make all the right decisions and make my dreams come true. And present me is willing to do the work. And it may sound like woo-woo language that I'm talking right now, but whether you believe in that or whether you don't, words do have very powerful meaning. And when you speak them into your life, a lot of times you start believing, that you're not good enough or you'll never be good enough. And then you become that. And we're not speaking that this year. I am confident and excited and creative, and I'm a badass. And this video truly isn't for anyone else watching. This is really just for me, or the podcast, whoever's listening. It's not for you, it's really for me. And I just needed to make this episode today because I need my future self to be proud of my past self. And during this present moment, I'm really happy talking about that. It's kind of corny, but I love it. Whew. Yeah. So as we enter the new year, I just want to say I'm proud of you. I don't care how much you believe you accomplished or you haven't accomplished, but you're here and you're doing amazing, and you deserve to give yourself a pat on the back, because I know you still love being a photographer, and I know that if you're new to this, it's only going to get better in time. And that's the most corniest thing anyone can ever say. But it's true. It's so true. I have to turn this off real quick. Got clients messaging me because I'm running a mini session special right now, and that's crazy to me. I can just post something. That's another thing. I could just post something on Instagram or my Facebook or my stories, and then I'm going to have people that want to book me. Because I believe in myself so much that I just put it out for the universe, and guess what? It comes back to me. And that's the name of the game. And yes, I have almost 15 years of experience. But there are people that are younger than me, that are smarter than me, that have been at less than me, that are way more successful than I am. In the sense of they're booked all the time. And I'm okay with that. They have so many more tools now to get started, and so many resources that I didn't when I got started. So their business is flourishing at a younger age than mine did because I didn't have all that. So I just need everyone to know that it is possible. It is possible to get your business up and going. It is possible to have so much belief in yourself to the fact that people think you're crazy. And honestly, that drive is the only thing that's going to help you be successful in 2025, in 2026, whatever year it is. You have to love doing what you are doing so much that no one can stop you. No one can blow out your candle. And that fire has to stay lit. And the way you keep it lit is by adding more flame, adding more charcoal, adding more starter, adding more gasoline to it. And the way you do that is by taking care of yourself, your mental health, saying no so that you can say yes to the bigger things that make you happy. And taking the time to reflect, showing up for yourself, speaking gratitude into your life and to others. Because whether you want to believe it or not, you didn't make it here by yourself. I didn't make it here by myself. I've had plenty of clients. I've had plenty of friends that helped me get to where I am today. We are not independent beings. We are solely dependent beings, and we need each other. So, with that, I'm going to close off this episode because I am very fiery hot right now, and I'm so proud of myself. And I need to get that fiery self into editing and finishing up some wonderful weddings that I have left on my edit list. So I love you, and I'm proud of you. And I hope that anything I said today would stick. And if you take one thing from this, just know you're worth it. You are worthy to work hard for. And something I am starting to do is get a picture of yourself. Get a picture of younger you. Whatever version you want to pick. Whether it's the 7-year-old you, whether it's the 13-year-old you, the 18-year-old you, the 20-year-old you, whatever version of yourself you want to have sitting with you at your desk or somewhere where you can see it almost every day. And anytime you start to feel sad, anytime you start to feel bad about your life, or when you start to feel just like complete garbage, I want you to take out that little picture of yourself and say, I got you. I'm going to take care of you. And you have to remember that you can't speak mean or bad things to that little you, because you're the person that's going to make their dreams come true. So, yeah. I know that's super woo-woo, but I promise it works. So next time you're feeling down about yourself, take that out and just say, I got you, baby. I got you. So, all right. Well, cheers to that. Cheers to the New Year's. Cheers to the holidays. And cheers to you being a little bit lighter and easier on yourself. And I hope you keep the fire going. And I'm just so proud of you. And I just also want to say thank you so much for everyone who's supporting me on the podcast, supporting me in all of my dreams and ambitions in the last, 15 years. And I am just super grateful for you all. So, I'll see you on the next one. My name is Jess Golden. And if you would, pretty please, like this video, subscribe, and then check out my podcast as well. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, please leave me a review. That would mean the world to me. Literally, the world. And if you have any episodes or topics or ideas you want me to cover, please feel free to DM me or send me an email at hello@itsjessgolden.com. All right. Cheers. I'll see you on the next one.